Welcome, Professor Ablade Glover.
Thank you.
It's really an honor for me to be able to come here and talk to you today at Artists Alliance.
Thank you.
Um, your work for me precedes itself. It's quite moving for me to actually be able to connect an artist with work that has moved me
Well,
out in the world.
thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
today, for those of us who don't know, we're talking, the platform is Revolutionary Daydreams, and it's all about igniting your creative energy, inspiring
Yeah.
people wherever you are, whatever walk of life you're from, to
Yes.
try to do something inspiring. And I personally believe that everybody, even if they're, a preeminent, master painting like you, or just someone living their day, that they have some type of creative spirit in them.
Exactly. I
So
believe
that's
so too. I believe that everybody is an artist. We're all artists.
oh, great.
If we
great.
are created by the creator in this image, we must have some creative images. We
Exactly,
must be
exactly.
creative ourselves. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful that you think like that. And when I look at your work, I'd love to know how you describe it. But the things that I see are this vibrancy. I know you do a lot thematically with the everyday lives, right? The hustle
Yeah.
and bustle.
The
but
hustle and bustle.
you do it in a beautiful way.
Thank you. I don't know what really is inside there, but I know that I like crowds. And the place that you see crowds, where you see crowds are the markets. And at the market, you see the women in the various behaviors, various stands, the body language all around. I try to bring into my work some of these things that are transient. Somebody standing there, he or she behaves in a way that it passes away, and you can't see it again. Body language, you see some woman, another woman passes, and she looks at her, and you know that they've met before. Maybe it's a quarrel or something, or they're friends, Then the crowd is the tempo, the movement. There's a kind of spirit. When people are gathered, a lot of people are gathered, it's another image. I begin to see movement, tempo, the spirit of the moment. And I try to capture those things on my canvas.
You also capture it though in your nature pieces, the movement with trees and.
That's right.
That's
right. Yes.
Something like that.
Yes. Some. Yes. Some.
Which you may think is just a tree, but it's alive.
It's alive.
Yeah.
That's it. I see life, and
life.
I see life in most things around us. In fact, trees have life.
Yes, of course.
Trees have life, and I see trees, in fact, beyond just trees and bearing fruit or what that humans we eat. But I notice that they are, in fact, like refuge for other creatures. Other creatures in the evening, as we go home, they also go home and they go to sleep. It's amazing the things we refuse to see, or we refuse
trees
to.
Are very spiritual for me.
All right.
Very spiritual.
Very good.
I tell people I'd rather let me just go sit under a tree and pray. I'll be good.
I think trees are great. I was lucky in a way when I was teaching at the university in Kumasi. My bungalow was swallowed by trees all around me. And that is when I started noticing, it really got to me, that trees, like humans, they also live there, they are there.
Yeah.
And I
They
noticed
have
that,
seasons like we do.
exactly, seasons, exactly. And I realized quite late that indeed they are not just producing fruits for us to eat, but they also are refuge. At the end of the day, some people go there, if you use the word quote, some people go there and they also go to sleep, and that's why they take their rest and their refuge and run away from the dangers of the elements.
When did you make those very concrete decisions about your thematic work? I mean, when you first started painting and realized this is my path.
No, I didn't really. My paintings grew with me.
Okay.
That's right. It really grew with me. Because I noticed things and I brought these ideas into the whatever I get out there. I try to capture it on canvas in the studio. It grew gradually until I've now settled on certain subjects as if I dwell on it forever. But they are fascinating. It's the fascination of these things, like the women behaving, walking, going about and doing things in the lorry stations or whatever. I think my painting grew with me. Okay. I don't remember even when certain things came in, you know. But gradually, I grew up in latter days, in these days. I'm painting these things that actually amaze me myself.
Really?
Really amazing, yes. Yeah. Sometimes things...
In what sense? Is it coming from your memory, or that you're amazed,
no,
that you're reacting to it?
Actually, sometimes I start work, a canvas, and I know that this is where I'm going. And then, by the end the canvas is finished, by the end I finish with the canvas,
you're surprised.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. It's like some other hand has done it.
Yeah.
Some other hand had done it. And those are some of the surprises. Sometimes I work on a canvas for weeks. And nothing happens, and I'm disappointed, and I put a few of those canvases in my studio. But sometimes something comes up, and you know that this is it. It simply tells you, this is it. Stop here.
Well, definitely. I mean, your work, if I can say, definitely comes across the canvas.
Yes.
I mean, it comes out, it speaks.
Yes. Okay.
And talking about that, you know, your work is collected on the international scene.
Thank you. I'm glad I've reached that level where I get patronage from the world. That is not only Ghana. Indeed, Ghana started noticing my work only recently. Recently, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. But
I mean, that's an interesting point I wanted to get to. So, I mean, you're one of the preeminent artists on the continent. You know, I'm in New York. I follow your work. I think I've been in Barcelona at some point. I knew there was a gallery there. And so that relationship to art here, particularly in Ghana, because I have not been all around Africa, but particularly in Ghana, know, the value of the art doesn't match what the rest of the world is seeing.
No, it's not there here. Let's face it, I try to understand the situation that people who patronize art must have eaten. And having eaten and perhaps having got a shelter over your head, then you begin to look around you and think of the world. Art has been like that since time immemorial. People haven't eaten, even the so-called primitive, very, very from long time ago, when people have eaten and they feel satisfied, then they begin to decorate themselves or decorate the environment. Or try to understand the environment. Then they become philosophical and they look at things. But indeed, when you are hungry and you are chasing, food for the rest of your life, you don't have that kind of time. So I try to calm myself, and I know that, yes, I try to understand why some communities outside my community do appreciate what I'm doing. Because they stop to look. Yes. Here, people are so busy. Since you can imagine. Yeah. When people are so busy looking for the daily, yes, to feed themselves and their families. So people don't have that kind of time to stop.
So for those artists, who do, because some artists, it doesn't matter, like you have to express yourself, right? It doesn't matter what your mom, what your dad says. Some people are like, I gotta be an artist.
Sure.
For those people, because you know, Professor, you know, Ablade, people, you know, you've taught, you know, many pupils out in the world. So what are some of the things that kind of inspiration that you've given to them, or those lessons?
My main lesson really has been to teaching people to, I keep telling my students, open your eyes. Open your eyes. React to the environment. React to the things around you. Look, I try to open students' eyes. That's what I had done.
Wow. Both through technique and also through
yes,
thinking about it as well.
Technique and the approach. You learn how to use certain tools and material that you have to learn technically. But the thing for me is that at the end, the artist must come out through his work. He must be seen in his work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
after being taught how to use everything, all the materials and everything, in the end, it's like being taught how to run. You'll be left to run. You know, if you're a boxer and you are thrown into the ring, you may have to fight for yourself. So that is how it comes for me. That's what I've been giving to most of my students. And I'm glad I've seen some that over the years have built a career like that. And you see the work, you know, this is a boy, this is this man. Others have seen that, you see, they are fighting within, it's the spirit fighting within. They don't know where to take, where to go, where to turn. That's where you help an artist say, go try this, try this way. Yeah. Because, in fact, that's how I was helped. I remember my years as a student, when I returned to the UK to study at Newcastle. I was in the University of Newcastle. And I met a teacher. I was sent to a school. I was then doing art education. I went to a school, and I was teaching in that school, and I was painting with the art teacher in that school. And he looked at me and said, hey, the way you work, why don't you try the palette knife? And for me, that was all the opener. Really? To this day, that was a big, yes, it's a big opening for me. I was like, he saw me struggling with the brush. Because normally I want spontaneity in my work. I want spontaneous things happening, you know. And images are not real images. You try to draw images, but some throw things there, throw things here, and you allow accidents to happen. When now you do that best with the palette knife. The palette knife is a tool that goes and comes and scrape and throw away, and it's exciting. And that's when things emerge that you have not intentionally put there, but it has built up there. And
it also feels like when you're doing that way, it's very tactile and it's something that's emerging from you.
It's emerging.
And that allows you, as you were saying earlier, to have that experience that may be coming from somewhere you don't know.
You don't know. You stand there and you're amazed. Wow. And you like it. Yes, I like it. You
have to have a lot of dedication and process to actually get to that point.
Dedication.
You know, and I think that's something
dedication. Commitment.
Commitment. For people, you know, on this creative journey, it's not something that you just wake up.
Yeah, no.
It's a journey.
Yes, it's a journey. It's a journey, and that's one area too that I tell my students. It's a journey. It's commitment. That you love what you're doing, and it will not happen now, or it may take some time to happen. But you are committed. You love what you're doing, and things emerge. Things will come out.
Now you're not committed just to your work and your journey, but we're sitting at Artist Alliance, which is an amazing gallery that represents literally the best. And could you tell me a little bit? I mean, I know how it started, but just what's your approach to the curatorial aspect here?
Well, we haven't any real curatorial styles or what. No. Look,
showcase the best.
Yes, showcase and help. Yes, that's good. Help the young ones too.
Yeah.
You know, so that sometimes you see something you may not necessarily like, but hey, let's try it on the wall. That boy has something. Let's try it on the wall. That's the idea. The wall is the test.
The wall is the test. That's a great quote.
Yes, the wall is the test. You put it on the wall, and you'll be amazed. The people who come and people who tend to look at it and people who pass without noticing it, and you realize that yes, you're right. There's something in that painting or that drawing. So we try to give the opportunity to very young ones who are just coming. They don't know, they can't see their way. We try to encourage them. Then we also represent those who have made some mark and they are selling. and so on. So it's quite a mix. There are those who have never been to art school before, but they are painting naively, you know. And then there are people who hold degrees and they've done their master's degree and then a PhD perhaps, and then they are also painting. So it's a wide area. The idea is to give everybody a room, a chance on the wall. The wall is a test. Yeah. And if you're on the wall and people begin to look, and since I like it or I don't like it too much, the wall tells me what to do. The painting tells me that, hey, the boy has something. Yeah. The idea really, the original idea, when I was finishing at the university, and I knew I had a year to go on retirement. I told my wife, hey, we need to go home. But at the time, I felt so young, inside, you know. I mean, there was no point I could come home and sit and wait to die or what. So we thought, okay, since I'm going to paint, I was going to paint. We thought, okay, let's build a gallery. I cannot fill a gallery alone. So let's build a gallery, invite artists. So we invited the artists, we told them about our dream, and they thought also, hey, yes, great, it's a nice idea. Of course, when it came to the time to go, nobody was coming. We were disappointed a bit, but at the time we had already registered the name Artists Alliance. That's how the name came. And we registered it as a company owned by artists and so on. Yeah. And so we came out, having been disappointed by our colleagues. We weren't too down, but we came and we started a small gallery away from here. That gallery failed because of the traffic. There was so much traffic from here to Teshin and Tema and Nungwa. It was terrible. So since I come from here, this town, I came to see the elders to see if I can get some space here. And they asked me to fill this space. We also got a friend who is an architect. We described what we were looking for, a big space, beautiful walls, but a lot of light, so on. And I think he did a good job. He also studied at the, he studied in London, one of the, I think, what do you call it? He did architecture in London.
And this space, for those of you, if you can hear the lapping of the ocean.
Of the ocean. It's beautiful, yes.
It's an amazing space for creativity.
It is. It is.
And this is a stopping point for, I mean, it's an amazing community space, but I mean, for the international people who come through, I mean, this is
it's now it's now being seen.
Yeah.
Being seen as if it's
so
big.
You talked about the first one was a failure, then you did it again.
Yeah, exactly. Again and again. Now people are beginning to see it. This nation, when the authorities get visitors, the kings and the queens and the prime ministers, then visit this country, they bring them over here.
Exactly.
And I feel, hey, wow, I'll teach something. It's good. We have achieved, at least we've built that image. And I'm glad that the nation is beginning to recognize that. Even if they don't buy art, they recognize that. So through that, we are making some international contacts a lot. Recently, the president of Germany visited Ghana, and they brought him here with his entourage. And, we talked, and he thought that someday we'll like to make a contact and exhibit in Germany and so on. Yes. I'm glad it has not happened. Now, this morning, we and my colleagues, before you came, we were talking about our 25 years.
Oh, 25 years.
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And it's been a long time building it, 25 years. And we only remind, I had forgotten all about it, but somebody called to say, hey, you should be planning your 25 years. And I said, 25 years? No. Yeah, it's 25 years.
Wow.
So we're getting to plan our 25 year.
That's a testament to the journey.
Yes, it's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It never happened so. And when I was leaving the university, I didn't think I would live 25 years to build a gallery and no. But now
this is your second life and maybe
exactly,
your best life.
exactly. That's the truth.
This chapter, maybe.
I feel that I feel more relaxed. I feel more fulfilled here than at the university, where you only go and teach as a period. You get up in the morning, you must go and teach 1 hour or 2 hours, and you come home and you don't know what to do with yourself. And I was lucky again that because there was so much time, the only thing I could do was paint. So the years I spent at 30 years I spent at the university, it helped to build a foundation for me to come and really take off after retirement.
Well,
so I'm
it's
glad.
amazing because you have an impact as an artist with your work, the way it speaks, and it's speaking to people around the world. You also, as a businessman with Artists Alliance.
I'm not a businessman. I'm not a businessman.
You got a gallery, so you're a businessman. That is having an impact for the upcoming artists
thank you.
here.
If we've made any impact, any impact, I want to it to be recognized as having been able to influence a lot of young artists, a lot of artists who can see that they can work as artists and they'll make a living, a good, decent living. Because before, most artists that we came when we started, most artists were working full-time and they do the printing on the side, that kind of thing, because really there's no place to show your work. And that's how we existed before I traveled out and so on. And so now, if artists are coming out of university and going to their studios to work, knowing that they'll get a place where they'll get exposure, they're going to exhibit, they'll get exposure. For me, that is alone is worth achieving.
To wrap this up, I usually ask people what you would tell your young self, but I'm not going to ask you that. I want to know, what do you feel or you really truly want your legacy to be? You just mentioned about giving exposure, but as an artist, with the guy with the palette knife, like what do you want your legacy?
Legacy. Legacy. That I'm an artist, and if I'm recognized simply as an artist, and perhaps an artist who have helped other artists, that's enough. That would be that I would be proud of.
It as well. That's good. Yes.
That I'm proud of.
If you can live a life like that, then that's being of service through what you've
exactly. Having held other hands, others who are trying to climb the ladder, you try to hold them up and get it. That is enough.
Well, Professor Glover, I want to thank you for joining us in Revolutionary Daydreams and taking this time to talk to me and continue success.
Thank you.
And if you want to find out more about Revolutionary Daydreams, just go to revolutionarydaydreams.com. Thanks.
Revolutionarydaydreams.com.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
It's nice talking to you.